Hello and welcome to this solo playthrough of Advanced Squad Leader. I'm Robin Reeve and we will be playing now the scenario J231, Cooking Up a Storm, the first of a series of scenarios in the journal number 14 about battles around a little hamlet, let's say, on the island of Timor. The designers are Simon Spinetti, which I don't seem to recall to have seen a design yet, and Andy Rogers, who is very well known. He is the designer of Hattin in Flames and a lot of good scenarios. What I like with Andy Rogers is that he doesn't infuse too much sophistication. Hattin in Flames, for an example, really is very accessible, even for non-experienced players. And here, as we are delving in PTO for the first time, and I don't pretend to be, I don't claim to be a very good expert of PTO, even though I've played it a lot. But the series of scenarios around that little town of Babao actually is well done with simplified rules, but not excessively, but some elements are not included. We'll see all those elements. So here we are. This video is about the setup and just examining together the scenario cards. So if you're not interested in all those details, perhaps you can jump until the moment I am setting up the units. But of course the following videos will see the battle unfolding. I will read now the historical background. As you see, there are Japanese paratroops on the image. That's the image of the scenario that I just simply edited a little, and in the background you have some elements of the historical map, of course in the VSL version. So I'll read now the historical presentation and aftermath, and afterwards we will look at that scenario card. So the battle is occurring at Babao, West Timor, on 20 February 1942. The island of Timor was crucial to Japanese southern expansion plans. This island formed an important stepping stone between the Australian mainland and Java and Sumatra. The Japanese invasion of Timor had begun at 3 in the morning with a seaborne landing on the undefended southwest coast with 2 battalions of the 228th Infantry Regiment and attached Marines. In support of this landing, an airdrop was conducted at 8 o'clock to the east of the main Allied defences around the town of Koepang and Penfui airfield. Its objective was to secure the airfield and encircle the defending Australian and Dutch troops of Sparrow Force. The paratroopers moved west towards the airfield after landing and used the main east-west road to Penfui as their axis of advance. The first village between the drop zone and Penfui was Babao, used by the Australian 2/40th Battalion's headquarters and rear echelon. The village was bombed in the morning, causing fires and disruption to the kitchens and the rear echelon of the battalion. At about 10:50, the first party of paratroopers approached the village, where a hasty defense had been prepared by the mixed bag of troops that were available in the village. There we are. And the aftermath, the defending force consisted of a few platoons of infantry from the HQ company and artillerymen who had destroyed their guns earlier in the day. Using just rifles and a few machine guns, the mixed forces gave the Japanese a hard fight for the village. After a few hours of tenacious fighting, with heavy casualties among the kitchens and supply depot, yeah, the Australians finally retreated out of Babao in the afternoon on to Tarus, a village 5 miles west along the road. The Japanese halted to regroup and rest before pushing further west. The storm over Timor had just begun. So there we are. So just for anybody who's just jumping and seeing for the first time a video of my solo playthroughs, how do I play solo? I apply the very well known as if system, playing both sides the best and playing as if one side didn't know the hidden knowledge of the other. Okay, so it's the simplest way to play solo with all the limitations, and of course there are many. For your information, I also play face-to-face a lot. I like both modes. Of course, I got used to the solo playing from the beginning, from the start with ASL, because I live in Switzerland, and Switzerland is nearly a desert pertaining to wargame, and not speaking of ASL, so finding ASL players is possible, but really very occasional. And as I started way before internet was developed, I started ASL in 1986, and squad leader in 1982. Of course, I had to play solo. My first face-to-face game was in '91 because I was in the region of Paris for my studies, in part of my studies, and I met the team of the defunct magazine Tactique, and I think Théophile Monnier was the first player I played against face to face, just for that. So I'm playing as if. Of course I'll make some errors. Of course my tactical skills are what they are. I believe I'm quite a decent player, but I wouldn't dare say that I'm a good one. But I think I play enough. But I'm quite easygoing, and as I'm soloing, if I notice something wrong, I'll correct it. If I forgot, let's say, to rally or repair weapon, and there's no impact, rewinding a little, I will do it. That's the advantage of being solo. But anyway, we will be playing PTO. We will see the special rules about this, and if you notice really errors, or if you have comments about my tactics, please do. It helps the community to do that. And if you manage to do it before I record the next video, and it can be a question of hours or days, or I can take into account the remarks. I hope I won't do major blunders. Of course that can happen, but anyway, A.2 rule applies. That means that if an error is noticed too late, you just go on. This is quite a simple scenario, so I don't think we will have catastrophic outcomes if I make some errors. So let's now see the scenario card together. So here is it. The VIC board configuration, as you see, there's only a part of the board which is used. I think most of those scenarios cover part of it. Not looking in the detail, but I think that it's a case with about all of them. I'm just looking, but yeah, I'm not going to annoy myself looking too much. I'm just flipping through especially scenarios where you don't have those campaign gain adapted OBs and things like that. I took scenarios, the scenarios with no of those purchasing purchasing points, things like that. Only most of the time have a part mostly of the map. Okay. The victory conditions are quite easy. The Japanese win at the game end by controlling all non-hut building locations in hex numbered 12 or less. We'll see that. You'll see that the orientation of the map is different from let's say the display here, because the upper part is on the west, but that's VSL. You cannot pivot the map, so it's 6.5 turns with the Japanese moving first. Okay, so okay, I think there are, we'll see the detail afterwards, but I think there are something like four buildings. So here are the elements of HQ company. So you see that most units are second line. Those must be the cooks and other servicemen, perhaps not from the front, but you still have a good elite squad and a first liner. Those could be really units attached to the HQ, and some reinforcements which will come along the west edge to reinforce and defend the buildings. And the machine, they have two mortars, two light machine guns, some foxholes, so really lightly armed. Brittle force. They are ELR 3. That's not high, especially for second liners. So we'll perhaps see the rare occurrence of conscript British appearing during play. There we are, and the leadership is, let's say, medium. 2 good leaders, medium good leaders, and 3 7-0s, which are more apt to rally. Now, also, just to be clear and just to remember, you know that the British don't cower only if they are first or elite, first line or elite. So the 447s here are prone to cower, so they'll need the help even of a 7-0 just not to cover. Yeah, because you can get too used to the English British forces and see them, brush off cowering and having leaders more used to rally them in the rear than being compelled to be with their men in the front, etc. Okay, some concealment, that's good, not to get hit too hard by the Japanese. Okay, and 3 foxholes. Okay, Japanese first liners, special naval landing force. Who spoke of paratroops? But anyway, they don't look like paratroops. Of course, 2 crews to man the machine guns, the medium machine guns, decent leaders. So we don't have something very exotic, except the setting, of course. And they have, of course, medium machine guns, light machine guns, mortars. Okay. With the good advantage, the nice advantage of British and Japanese light mortars is that they spout some smoke, and reinforcements also coming from the east of the map to help the attackers. Okay. Special rules. We have the SP SSRs only, which we will see quite quickly. I'm glad, because the new VSL tool online, there's one for the display of the basis of the scenario, but you also can have notes, so you'll see I made some use of them. Okay, so there we are. The Japanese will have to advance, and the British stop their advance to protect the buildings. So here we are. As you see, the British here may set up at this limit and higher. The north is here, and the Japanese set up on or east of hex grain Q23Z18. It's not very visible, but you have here the limit of their setup. Okay, so they can, and of course the map goes until 23, and 24 is off map. I could have cropped the map, but the rule says that the general rule of CG of Sparrow Force historical scenarios is that the terrain out of the map counts for off-map movement. So the Japanese reinforcements will reinforce from here, which is the west, no, the east, and the British from the west. So here, and we'll zoom on those notes a little so we can read them better. So there are good descriptions. Anyway, it's not a map you have to PTOIs. I don't know. You know, it's as it is. So all roads exist. Brush remains brush. So that's not bamboo. There's no bamboo. Kunai, okay, representing maize fields. Maize, do you say maize? Don't you say corn in American? I don't know. Everybody, I know that between English and American you have different ways of things. But anyway, those are fields, are not kunai. So the cost of terrain is 1.5 mf for infantry. So think grain actually. All other kunai rules apply normally. Okay. There's a little exclamation point because I did some OCR, didn't write. Rice paddies are in season. We'll look at that more precisely. There are not a lot, but there are some here, huge. Okay. They are quite light grain actually. And hexes NSYS Q2 and 889 contain fords. So I think the only occurrence is here. Oh, it's there. This is the ford. Okay, the stream is shallow by definition if you don't have any description. So other rules which simplify things. SP5 to say things quickly is that there will be no flames, no fire, no kindling, no spreading fire, no bore sighting, which anyway is not applicable here. So good news, don't need to manage spreading fire. You notice here I marked ground level only. That's one of the also special rules which say that there are no upper level. There's no upper level in that building. As you see, the buildings, there are 5. Okay, they are building locations which the Japanese must all control. The mill, the police station, and all those little things are huts. But the huts won't catch fire when fired upon, and you know you have a red DR of 1, etc. Japanese, no HIP, so they don't start. Anyway, they are on the move, so it's not very interesting. They may generate up to 2 to hit heroes per scenario, but anyway, here they don't have any needs to, and I don't think they can generate any if there are no AFVs. So I just put the rule as it is. I only selected those which could seem interesting, and of course the ATMM has no use here. Australian can declare hand to hand. Okay, quite the same way. If he's an attacker or it ambushes. I didn't look at the wording of chapter G for the Japanese, but actually both sides can do about the same thing. There we are. So here's the rule for in-season. The interior of in-season paddy is grain. Okay. Okay, so unit enters a paddy hex. So that's the thing. Enter paddy hex either onto its banks, we'll see the banks, or into its interior, except as stated, the own units, etc. So anyway, we only have infantry, so there we are. Bicycles, we don't need to think of that, so there we are. Okay. In season, grain MFMP. Okay, a bank, so a unit may cross a bank. Only, okay, allowed to enter into a paddy. So, okay, okay. If a unit is in a paddy or in a non-paddy hex, it may enter directly on the bank. Okay, provided it crosses a bank hex side. The normal cost for this is 1 MF to cross that bank hex side, plus 1 MF to enter onto the bank counter. Okay, so they and once they're on the bank, they can remain on the bank, and it costs only 1. Okay, if the unit is currently in a paddy, it may enter into an adjacent paddy hex. Normal cost is 1 MF if crossing a back hex head plus the in-hex COTs. So moving from paddy into a paddy into a paddy across a bank hex side costs 1. Okay. Okay, it may enter also out of the paddy to a normal hex, and it costs also 1 to get out. So there we are. It may enter directly onto a bank counter. Okay, 1M, always 1 MF to get on it. Okay, if the unit is on a bank counter, may enter directly onto a bank counter, provided, and it costs 1. So the choice is to if you walk on the banks, it's only 1, 1, 1, 1. If you go into, of course, you pay the cost of the paddy, and if each time you have to jump over a bank, it costs 1. So we are looking at rule. I will see if the Japanese has a good idea, because at the beginning I think they move quite out of LOS. So okay, 1 MF to cross that bank. So yeah, it's always the same thing. Oh, and you have a marvelous example. There we are. Yeah, so nothing really complicated. Okay. You have all the cases, so if I have a doubt, we'll go and look at that, and if I play it wrong, you just stop me. So I reckon that paddies don't appear in many scenarios, but now with the Korean module, you have a little more. So okay, it's always okay. You don't play. Yeah, so you go down. Okay, and what's important? I don't know if it's noted before. No. Okay. Yeah, it's hazardous movement. That's the problem when you're on it. So don't move on banks if you are under fire. That's the only thing to do. Okay. So there we done, and of course, so as you see, the banks, the paddies are just over here. Perhaps something we could say is, yeah, so it won't enter a lot of the game, but okay. But if you move from 1 to 1, there's no, let's say, firing hazardous movement for the 1 MF expended to move over the bank. It's like a hedge. You just add 1 and you move into the next paddy. And as you see, they are all separated. There are a lot of banks, so we'll see. Presumably this movement will be more interesting along the path. I think I covered about everything of the setup scenario, the data. If something springs to mind, tell me. But now I will proceed to setting up the British first, and afterwards the Japanese. So the British they have a lot of terrain that they can, let's say, retreat through. So and having a first line here and perhaps some fire brigade in the rear, that could be good. And first of all, I think it's good also to deploy at least 2 of them. Oh, you see that I don't understand VSL. You select 2, okay, and sometimes you have the whole stack. So both, there we are. I created, so I'm going to zoom slightly there to prepare the defense. So immediately, I like, for mortars, it's a good idea to give them 2 half squads, because the problem with a squad is that it could be tempted to use its IFT, but if it uses its it's IFP, if it uses its IFP, it loses any acquisition, so it's not very useful. So better not be tempted by that. So the Japanese could be trying to sneak over here. I don't know if the mortars... They're also a good cover if needed. Now the machine gun, I'll give them to the bests. Always best units with the best weapons. There we are. I'm placing them here just for the sake of it. So I don't know. I hesitate. I'm hesitating about, because anyway, the Japanese come here after the reinforcements here, but the main movement here. It's light jungle, so you can fire mortars from it. That's the thing. So I'll put one here, so it covers quite well those entries. I can even go here. Yeah. And have a greeting committee also on this side. No need to have them up front anyway. Well. There we are. Those are the 458s, yeah. I'll put them in the... Already know they're quite far away from the... Yeah. No, but we need some defense here. The tough guys in the front. Others here, you never know. We'll do our best. Having some people over here. But they must be, yeah, but the paddies offer really a good hindrance, so have a good line here. Oh, that's badly placed. Why not? Just not to tempt the Japanese to do some board edge creep, as they say. But in a way, we need to pull out quite quickly. So defending the village is quite important also. This could be dangerous because they can sneak up and kill me before. So better concede a little. I'm putting one here. As you see, I'm trying to make a good defense, first line defense here. So have some people just along the path. Perhaps not. Those are good speed bump here. Just gutting the, yeah. I like the speed bump thing. Now I mustn't put everybody too much in the front. It could be dangerous. Oh, sorry, I don't know what happened here. Okay. Yes. Okay, there they are. No. What am I doing? Please don't look. Don't look up. Perhaps here being ready to help. And yeah, we don't need to. Yeah, there we have a good place to defend. Don't need to put everybody in the behind, because anyway there will be reinforcements coming. There we are. So Norman here, really here to defend the building, and here. Let's go 246. Yeah, that's a good place for rallying. And if they are broken there, let's see what we can do here. Now we'll try, of course, I'll try to conceal all units that could be hit or seen immediately. Don't need to reveal anyway, you know. And now some decoy, some dummies, why not? I don't mind if they see O'Reilly. Oh la la. Yeah. Just for fun anyway. There we are for the Australians. Well. Little excursus about the ford. Movement to ford stream hex from any direction is treated as if the water depth were one classification shallower. Dry rather than shallow. Dry is like a gully, so it's 2. So, speaking of this ford, if you don't follow the path, you have to pay cumulative MF for the woods and the stream. But if you move from the path, you go down there, it costs only 2. Okay, so just for the Japanese, they would need to push here. Okay. Well. How will they lead their attack? Moving here, yeah, seems really dangerous. A lot of British in face of them. Anyway. So I think moving up here could be the best solution, and perhaps not the best. Yeah, the worst place to go. There's a ford here, so there are 2 fords. So anyway, I'm already placing 2 groups, let's say 2 axes of the attack. I think it would be interesting just to move about here with some people, but not too much. I don't have a lot to spare. I'm already pushing them there. With covering machine gun, but you know, that's really a hindrance. That's really not very interesting for machine guns. And just in case, the paddies are an inherent terrain hindrance, so the banks, you know, if you fire from this to this, the presence of the bank has no effect on LOS. So that's important to realize. Okay, so we'll have some people rushing here. I think I'll put a crew and an MMG, and I'm going to DM it. There we are. Dismantle it. Pushing it under. We'll see what we are doing. I could also, of course, they are 12, so we can, of course, have some. There we are. Some scouts. Not forget them. Okay. A little force here, but they're not central. And here we could advance quite, boldly, let's say. me see. Q23, OPQ23. Okay, can it? Just annoyed. There we are. I'm just looking at my data. I'm slightly annoyed because they say from Q23 to Z18. Okay, that's the limit. That's why I put the border here. But technically this hex is usable, but I won't go there. This no, because this would be off board. This is off board, this is off board, but not P23. But anyway, I won't dare do something. Okay, so I think the main prong could be really here, going up here, because yeah, but the main one, but not the only one. So I need to put some parallel. Let's go here and here, and have some like nice little guys here up, and here also helping. Oh, didn't move together. Okay, move together please, sir. There we are. And there we are. We can be generous with the, oh, I forgot, yeah, the good thing. Now I need to have some heavy weapons here. Okay, I think I'll also DM it. And here I'm putting it there with, oh yeah, okay. Machine gun here. Yeah, I don't have a plethora of no, it's good to just evade the defense here. Just move about here. Yeah. Good. And here, Doi and Baba. So those names I took them from a site about Japanese first names, last names. So I'm not inventing things. I'm doing them in. It's my OCD, you see, a tendency, because the British also are in alphabetical order. So you have N, O, R, and P, Q, P. I know there must be, okay, as you see. And here we have A, B, C, D. Oh, I don't know where is C. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. C. I know, jumped it. Okay. So that's not very interesting to you anyway. I think I did my setup. I'll try immediately to deploy here to have half squad manning the. Or could I? No. But where is it? Yeah, I'll deploy it as app. So the idea is to quite straightforwardly move here, but also get a movement here with some cooperation with the two prongs here. The British will be hit quite in the center, I don't know, or perhaps move more on the side to annoy everybody. So, and we forgot to place our, for the British I forgot to place the foxhole, sorry, quite logically. And the logics would be to have a good defense here. Okay. And let's place now the snipers, starting with the defenders. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let's go here for Stevie, and Enomoto will be placed here. There we are. So now let's conceal all people who are clearly out of LOS. I think here you have more than 6. Let's try. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the limit. I just needed to check. So if it's 6 or more, it's not more than 6 or more, it blocks the LOS. That's what I needed to know. So here they are concealed. Of course here, of course here, of course here, here. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those are not. Those are out of any LOS, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're visible. Here they're out of LOS because of the woods. And here 1, 2, 3, 4. They are not. Okay. So there we are. I'm going to push that here. I think, yes, here they conceal also. So we are facing a nice little infantry PTO battle. Let's see how things unfold in the next video. At least I hope you are having a nice time just seeing how things are being prepared. I'm going to remove that setup limitation. No need for it anymore. And we'll unleash the dragons and other dogs of war in the next video. So see you later. Bye bye.